the caption, right? The caption high sounding, but when you actually do it, it's quite easy. And we also did this question. Okay, in case Jinghui, in case you want to, I thought did it. Okay, did. Okay, yesterday I went around the room to look at your example 30, and I'm quite impressed that most of you can do it, which is good. Which means, which means you learn well, right? Okay, we have another question in example 30. Okay, if you read the question, right, if you read the question in example 30, you will realize that the main statement that you need to be able to write down is actually this. You read example 30, you must be able to see that the rate of change is equals to 20 minus root t. Once you are able to do this, okay, how come, they say, right, gallons is used because it's American standards, right? Americans use the word gallons. Americans use the word gas rather than petrol. American has different way of spelling meter. Yeah. And then the Z or the S, Yeah, so the American always do things. Yeah. We have no choice though. We have to just follow. In fact, for the country code, country code, they call themselves 01, number 1. So you call America, you just down 01 and whatever. The phone number, country code, right? Singapore is 65, Malaysia is 60. I think who decides the country code? America. Wait, they decide. That's why theirs is 1. No, I don't think so. They are the number 1. They're number 1. Huh? They want to be 1. They want to be number 1. So likewise, here is gallon, the American standards. So when reading this question, you must be able to get to this first line, that the rate of change is 20 minus root t. And then after getting this line, you just perform a 1 round integration, and then find the value of, okay, some people just integrate here, and after that find the constant c using the condition that when t is 0, the quantity is 50, which means you could have potentially done it the good old way, which is 20t minus t power. By the way, there's someone, is it Lawrence who tested what's the zip code of school? So do you find out 1299? But the zip code, because I just don't know myself, because I'm not sure the zip code refers specifically to the American zip code, or do they also refer to our postal code, Okay. That thing is something I don't understand. I don't know. But just make sure the other things are correct, Make sure the things are correct. Okay. Especially the joint code. The postal code, Okay, class, you can find FT this way, or can first and foremost integrate first, then use this condition to find the value of C and ascertain that C is 50. Then after that, to find the amount of water at T equals 40, you just plug in T as 40, you get the answer. This question below is interesting, Give yourself that 2 minutes is worth your while. Ivan and company, are you trying this question? Is worth your while, really? Okay, read this question carefully. Chen Hui, sorry. Yeah, something to say? Can you try this question? Everyone please try this question. It's a good question to try. Okay, in this question, it is asking you for the absolute maximum and the absolute minimum. They didn't ask for value, they just asked for the x value that allows you to attain the absolute max and absolute min. So if you could recall the last time I told you, in looking for the absolute max and min, you must actually look for the endpoints and also the values of the function at the critical points. Okay, the endpoints in this question is going to be f0 and f. And Chen Hui, what is f0? Shh, quiet. Let's hear from her again. Chen Hui, what's f0 equals to? Right, that's right. Because don't have. Just say Yeah, she's right. Thank you for paying attention. He knows Okay, we don't know f0. They don't give the value f0. 没有 don't have. Okay. Okay. Then to find f26, right? f26 is actually 0 to 26 of the f prime x dx plus f0. This graph is the graph of f prime. Okay, in case you can't see, you can see now? It's f prime graph. So this is the graph of f prime. So to find f26, this is the way to do it. And lo and behold, we don't have f0, but we can potentially compute the integration from 0 to 26 of f prime. You can try computing. It is possible to compute because you can find the equation of the two lines you see there. Like the line on the left, it has a gradient of -2/3, and then it cuts the y-axis at 4. So if you want to, you can write down the equation of this line. Y equals to -2/3 x plus 4.
But you're not given the value of x1.
Right. You can compute the value x1 also, no? Because you know why not? Because you know this value, you will be able to find this line and therefore x1 later on. The truth is, it can be found. However, for this case, we are going to exercise one thing. We are going to exercise our gut feel, our judgment. And what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to ask you this question, let's start with Hao Wen is, do you think F0 is bigger or F26 is bigger? Which is bigger, F0 or F26? Brilliant! But F26 is bigger, so I write F26 on the right and F0 on the left. So this for the endpoints. So for sure, in the comparison of endpoints F0 and F26, I am very sure that F26 is bigger. Hao Wen, can you tell the class why? Okay, I'm going to erase off and say actually it's not. Hao Wen, why is it not? Why is it not? It's actually the other way around, Hao Wen. It should be the other way around, Hao Wen. Because it's got much more negative area compared to the positive area. So therefore F26 is actually smaller than F0. Okay. The next thing is, you want to look for the critical points. Where do you think it will have the critical points? It will be at F6 and F21. Yo. It's not given a question, 没有. This is a graph of f prime. The most you can find is f prime 0 if you insist. The most you can find is only f prime 0. You can't find f0. 没有. They didn't give you information to find f0. Right, not Stephen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you find f26? Technically, to find f26 is actually 0 to 6 f of x plus f0. Okay, Stephen, do you think I should put f26 here, sorry, f6 here, or here, or here? Where should f6 sit in?
What should I say? Yes. Yes. Wait, what is the question?
In the ranking, right? The ranking from left to right. On this diagram, f26 on the left, therefore is smaller than f0.
Yeah.
So now in the case of f6, where should I place f6
Then F0.
compared to f0?
Oh, it's smaller than F0.
Right, it's bigger, right? That's right.
Yes.
f6 bigger.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
f6 is actually bigger. Why is f6 bigger? This portion here is actually positive value. Integrating from 0 to 6 of f prime is positive. So therefore, f6 is certainly bigger than f0. How about f21? Okay, judging from the area from 0 to 21, you want to ask f21 compared with f0, who is bigger? f0 is bigger, right? So f21 has to be either here or here. Now you compare between f21 and f26, who is bigger? 26 bigger. So therefore f21 sits here. Okay. So based on these four values, the endpoints and the critical value, I will know that the absolute maximum occurs, absolute max, right? It occurs at x equals what? 6, and absolute mean is at x equals to 21. That's how you judge. Huh?
Alternatively, we just look at like the beginning of the two lines. Because for this graph of y equals f prime, right, there's only like two different like segments. So this will be a max, then this will be a min.
No, local max, local min. It's not absolute max, absolute min. It's not B, no. Okay. Ryan say at this point, it is a local maximum. At this point, it's a local minimum. It's true. It's right. Local max, local min, but you can't tell whether or not it is absolute max or absolute min. You can't tell. Okay. Min. Can you show me a handphone? I also interested to know what game you're playing so I can learn to play games. Come, show me. Min, can bring over. Okay. Okay, play. Okay, my turn to play. You go back and do math.
Can you get the queen for me?
Get the queen. Just take lah.
Yeah, but the queen is not working, so we can get it.
Okay, I'll try.
Can you? The time is running out.
My time is not. I still have many more years to live. I want to watch my girl grow up, watch her go out to work, and eventually get married. You know, I really want daughter. Yeah, I look forward to the day my daughter grows up. Oh, sure. Oh, okay. Okay, Min, take back. Keep it, okay, because you are distracting Lawrence. Now Lauren got distracted by you. Okay. This question is a typical AP question. Let's press on. Okay, there's this thing called the mean value theorem for integrals. To understand what is going on, I'm going to take a new page and I'm going to discuss this on this page here. I'm going to start off by drawing you a graph. Okay, I think I'm going to draw it here. Okay, this graph not very nice. Okay, in this graph here, this graph is actually continuous over the interval from A to B. In this graph, it has an absolute mean. Not our mean, but it's the MIN. And it has absolute max. The expression we are interested to look at is actually this. So this is a graph of y equals to fx. Can you see a rectangle in this diagram on the right? Can you see? Chen Hui, do you see the red rectangle?
No, because you haven't drawn it.
Huh?
No, because you haven't drawn it.
You can see, you know, she's a clever emperor. Do you see the red triangle? Oh, no, rectangle. There's a red rectangle. Okay, there's also the green rectangle.
The red rectangle and the green rectangle are the same.
No, they are.
One is bigger than the other.
Right. So you can see the rectangles, right? And you can see obviously that it's like that.
Oh wait, that's capital F.
Okay. So that's obvious, right? That's obvious. Agree. Who can't see the red rectangle in the diagram? Who can't see the green rectangle? All can see, right? Okay. Anyone is colorblind? You are. Okay. There is another rectangle, no? There's another rectangle. Let me use this color. There's another rectangle that's like that. There's a rectangle. There's a rectangle wherein it is equals to I can draw a rectangle which is, what color is this color? Pink. I can draw a rectangle in this diagram where the pink rectangle has exactly the same area as the integration. Possible or not? Do you buy in? This is what the theorem says. The theorem says, given that the function is continuous on a closed interval, I can always find a pink rectangle. I can find a value c such that the pink rectangle shares the same area as the area under the graph. This is called the theorem that exists that theorem assures you the existence of C. Alright. In relation to this, you have so-called the lower bound and then also the upper bound of the same area. Right? So this theorem, known as the mean value theorem for integral, basically assures you the existence of C. Sometimes you have only one C, at times you have two C's. Let's call it C1 and C2. You know what I'm saying?
But in the graph that you draw, there's 3.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Ryan. There's the third C. C. So I don't have so many C's in my life. I know people chase after the 7C. What's the first C again? Cash. Okay, I don't have. Car, I have a small one.
Credit card.
I have these are all plastics. I don't have. What else? Condo, I have. What else?
Credit card.
Credit card, we all have. Everybody has. Okay. 7 C's. Okay, so therefore, this theorem says you have either, okay, now it jams, just like in that class also jams, this thing jams. Let me do this, hopefully it revives. I gotta do this now, to actually bring it back to life. Okay, so let's go back to this page. Okay, so if you fill in the blank, what do you think the first blank with? Let's hear from Aditi. Absolute mean and absolute max. Okay, and the theorem assures you the existence of C, wherein the pink area is equals to the area under the graph. In particular, if you move the factor b minus a to the left, see liao, it tightened again. Okay, it happened a few times today. Because once it go wireless, sometimes it go wrong. And I realized that I just need to do this and then cancel, I go back, it works, I realize.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. Okay, Ethan, what do you think is the third blank?
Yes.
What is this?
Average value.
Right.
Average.
Right. So which means if you bring the b minus a over, you get the sum of the function divided by the interval, you get the average value of the function fx. Yo.
The 7 C's are capacity, cash flow, capital, collateral, character, conditions, and engagement.
Okay, I will slowly examine what the C's I have. Okay, there's this. So you have just learned one phrase. It's called the average value of a function. You want to compare with this other term now called average rate of change. They are two different things. They look quite alike, but a different thing. To find the average rate of change, you got to find the change and divide by the interval.
That's like the gradient of the sequence.
Right. Okay, there's a short proof there, and the short proof we got use of some theorem. In the other class, some people could tell me very sharply what are the names of those two theorems, Push it. Okay. Okay. Anyway, the proof is optional. You can read for yourself. It's just a simple proof to tell you that it works. Okay. Can you try this question? To find the average value and the average rate of change.
What's the proof?
Oh, the proof is it? This is the proof.
Yeah, what is the
Okay, if you really want to know it, I'll just tell you lah. To make it complete. It's Ivan, Victor, and Timothy.
Yes, exactly. Congratulations.
Wow.
Congratulations. By Aditi.
IDT. Change your name.
Yeah, Aditi, change your name to Aditi.
Yes, boss.
Okay, example 32. Apparently, in this school, Valentine's Day is not very well celebrated. In the JCs, the student council would actually organize some activities for the whole cohort and the whole school.
Yes, because you are single. Woo!
I'm sure. Like,
You know, like the house friendship.
okay.
Yeah, the project sugar.
Alright, to find the average value of the function, how to find the average value of the function? Okay, this thing died dead, this thing died dead. I'm going to say first, something went very wrong. I will switch to using the board for a moment. Something went wrong. Okay, let me. Don't worry. I will redo it again. The breakdown. Okay, so this example 32. So the answer to this question is, what's the answer to this question? Negative. Okay, according to Yu Tong, Yu Tong say negative 1 over 10. Is that correct? Lawrence, is there something I make mistake? Thank you.
Using students to get anything is negative 0.1. Oh.
I paid for the software, Camtasia, I paid for it. Okay, in the next question, 33A, there's a 33A and 33B. 33A is for you to learn, 33B is for you to try. So in 33A, you will learn how to find the absolute mean and the absolute max. And then you find the boundary, the lower bound and the upper bound. And after that, you want to find the average value. And then you want to do something. Okay, so this one, you can read for yourself. Let us actually do 33B together. Okay, 33B together.
Okay.
To find the absolute mean and absolute max of a function, again, you can find the endpoints. Let's see. Ashok, what are the endpoints you find? Okay, you're not paying attention.
Hey, pay attention. Then this is just example 33A.
G of pi over 4. What is it equals to? And G of 3 pi over 4. Ashok, what is it equals to? They are the same, okay? They're the same. Yep. Then next thing is actually the stationary points. Okay, where is the stationary point?
Pi.
Not pi, but
Pi is out. And then 0 is 12.
okay. Aditi say pi over 2 is a critical point. Why is pi over 2 a critical point? Because when you differentiate this, when you do g prime x equated to 0, you can calculate for yourself, you need to get x equals to pi over 2.
What? Really?
Yep. There's another one which is 0, but 0 is not within the interval from pi over 4 to 3 pi over 4, so 0 is omitted.
Wait, but is the lim sine Oh, wait, it's okay. My brain.
Yeah, after all the wedding celebration.
No, it's more like after the but
I think it's more like after school.
It's more like Friday.
Well, it's like after the morning.
Okay, so you should differentiate, you should differentiate. Because upon differentiating, you will get this line,
Oh, that's actually so smart.
Okay. Now that you got the endpoints and the station point, your absolute minimum therefore is 1 and 2 to the power 1 quarter. And your absolute max is equals to 1. By the way, Monday and Tuesday next week is HBL days. Do you want to do online lesson with me?
no.
Okay, in that case, I will actually issue out to you HBL work to do.
Yeah, then it's going to be very hard.
Yeah.
Sure. Huh?
Not related one. He could probably give you physics practice.
Okay, I know you're finished the chem's test this week. Oh. Okay.
Both are the same thing.
But you still do my HBL homework right for math.
Of course.
Okay. Because you need to actually go online to do it, the HBL task. Not SLS. I'll tell you.
Now what?
I'll tell you the HBL homework over the weekends. I want to say now because school prefers that we tell students nearer to the HBL day.
Why?
We don't want students to start doing it a lot well ahead. We want to do it like normal lesson day.
Yeah, but you can practice for chemistry.
Okay, this is the school of we are NUS High School of what? Math. The sciences are the afterthought.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, then how about English and like art? They're like
Okay,
right?
don't talk about them, don't talk about them. Yes, very good. Sure. Okay, so because of this, the lower bound would be 1 over 2 to the power quarter times the interval. And the upper bound will be the absolute maximum, again times by the interval. Bless you.
Stop yawning.
Okay. Gregory, I can't read your handwriting. I can't read your handwriting. Can you try to write slowly, letter by letter, so I can read your handwriting? Otherwise, it's very hard to read. But it's important for you to present in a way that I can read and understand your motion. Just write in print, just one letter at a time. Yeah, I know Aditi did well, that's all I can remember because I was curious about Aditi's performance. She went for the wedding celebration. She got 7.
Oh, I think
Why? 7 out of 7. So
I think you got married.
Good God.
Wait, she got 7. Wow, congrats, I got 7, congrats.
I also remember Ting Hui's because she sleeps all in my class most of the time, and I was wondering whether she could learn. And she did learn, but she did learn, okay? To be fair to her, she did learn.
Wait, what is like the still is it a 7?
7.
Wow.
how about me?
Okay. Ethan.
I got 8, right? 8 out of 7.
Okay, I check first.
What? Next subject you.
Since you all are so keen to know.
I got 9 out of 7.
Got quite a few casualties,
I think I really love this.
You mean, no, I think Yi Tong made a very dumb mistake, I know, but I forgive you lah, because the line before was correct. The line before was correct. You know what I mean, right? The line before was correct. Yeah, I know you made a silly mistake, even my daughter can do it. No, I mean, my daughter can do the arithmetic, that small, silly arithmetic.
You know, it's not the first time I've
Okay, don't say it.
Oh wait, there's people who haven't taken GD2 yet.
But I should tell the marks, like I should tell the marks. Okay.
I almost was. I've done it before. Then I never through and last week.
Oh man, so sad.
Never done for sorry. Oh, okay, forgive me.
Yeah, she made a silly. Don't say it. Embarrassing, very embarrassing. You realize it after that, is it?
Oh, yes, I wasn't in this person. Because I almost differentiated around.
Okay, Ethan, you got 7.
Let's go.
Wow.
Okay.
Make up for the 12.
Okay, let's press on.
Yes, press on.
Okay, so now to find the average value of this function is from pi over 4 to 3 pi over 4 gx, which is square root of psi x. And the truth is, you can't do it by hand, you know. You must use the GDC because we can't integrate. We can't integrate square root of psi x. We can't.
Unless you cannot do GC, right?
If we cannot use GC, we won't give you a question like this because
No, I mean in the test got no GC.
yeah, test has no GC, you know. No GC is allowed for the test.
For a minute, I was like, how do I
To find the value of x, it is basically asking you for the case where GC is equals to this, and it's basically asking you for this to solve this equation, and again solve it using GC. Okay, Vilesh, you got answer yeah? What's answer? Oh, don't know.
Hold on, I'm doing it right now.
1.488 divided by pi over 2. Divided by pi and divide. 0.947, is it? Okay, thank you. Okay, so the answer shared by Viresh is 0.947. Anyway, you can do it on your own, you know, you can just use calculator slowly. For me, right, I find it hard to use this calculator because the key are very small. You know, and then you got fat fingers, right?
And then the letters and the keyboard is like QWERTY, it's like A, B, C.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, are you done? This one? And all of you are fake student, right? Steven, what are you looking at? They're two here. So mean.
I don't take physics, Chap.
Okay, even you don't take physics, you can answer this question. Since you don't take physics, let me test whether or not you have learned enough of physics in the lower years. Okay, Ethan.
Yes.
What is the difference between the term kinematics and dynamics?
Kinematics is kinematics. How do you find my answer?
What's the distinction?
Kinematics is easier. Got different formula for different stuff.
Money. What's the kinematics and dynamics? What's the difference? James, you know lah. What's the difference?
What's the difference?
What?
A,
Yeah. Shh.
Dynamic is very dynamic.
Okay, class. The dynamics has force involved. Kinematics doesn't have. Kinematics is purely displacement, velocity, and acceleration. You know what I mean? So it is adequate for you to know that there's this thing called displacement, which when differentiated will give you the velocity. And the velocity when differentiated will give you the acceleration. And because you have learned integration, you can do reverse by using integration, that when you integrate acceleration you get the velocity, and integrating velocity you give the displacement. Let me test you. I am sure you know what is displacement, but I want to ask you this question. Shemaya, what is the definition of displacement? Shh. It's not. It is called the distance in a specified direction. Distance in a specified direction. This is called displacement. And what is velocity, Kalesh? The definition. It is called the rate of change of the displacement. Okay, so it is good enough for you to know that differentiate, you get. Then integrate, you get. To find the change in velocity, you can do it like this. Like the integration of the acceleration, you know. The integration of the acceleration actually gives you the change in velocity. This is from the first theorem. And these are all self-explanatory. And then we come to the term.
I'm stretching, sorry.
Okay. Alright, okay. We'll come to later on another term, speed and distance, but in the meantime, you look at this example. Okay, in this first example, you will realize that it shows you the three parts in two methods. One method is like this. One method is actually to obtain the velocity expression as Vt equals to 3t squared over 2 minus t cubed over 3 plus c. And then you will then find the value of c by making use of the fact that when time t is, say for example, when time t is 0, velocity is 0, like in part A. So one way of doing this question is to first and foremost work out the Vt expression and then use the given condition to find the value of the constant. Another way of going about it is like this now, that you can actually say integrate from 0 for this part A, right? 0 to t of Vx. Okay, sorry, Ax dx equals to Vt minus V0. You can use the first theorem, right? And immediately you can find the acceleration expression by just simply integrating the acceleration from 0 to t. Do you realize that I was very careful to make sure that I don't say at and dt, you know, because there's a confusion in the use of the notation. So allow me to use the second part. Part B is more interesting to show you part B. Part B, method 1, right? Method 1, you integrate the v first, and then you find a constant separately. And then with this one, you can then find v5 by putting 5 into the expression for vt. On the other hand, in using method 2, right, you can straight say v5 is equals to this. This is actually from the first theorem again, okay? From first theorem, then you just straight away work out the value of v5. This is another approach you can take. When you're in the younger years, right, in the younger years, I'm quite sure you use method 1. And then when you start to do physics, right, you tend to use method 2.